The institutions are trying to shake you out. That is probably something you have heard in the XRP community, but something that you probably don't actually know what it means. Well, guys, I want to show you that during this last market correction, that is exactly what is happening in the XRP community. We just saw a record amount of selling from a certain subset of wallets. Guys, to me, this lets me know right now we are watching people capitulate at record levels, and it's not the biggest people invested in this market. I want to provide you some data around that, as well as a fascinating partnership that just got leaked with Ripple. Guys, this could be one of the biggest partnerships to date. You are definitely going to want to stick around to the end of the video to see that. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and to subscribe to the channel. These two simple things really do help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. Let's jump into the video, and I want to start off and just talk about the liquidations we're seeing right now, because I think a lot of people probably see the market dipping and saying, okay, this is probably coming from large institutional players. But guys, the facts are actually showing us something extremely different. This is shocking what I'm about to tell you. What we are seeing right now is record amounts of XRP liquidated from the smallest accounts out there. Since yesterday, we have seen 162 million XRP sold from wallets with less than 10,000 XRP. Let me say that again. 162 million XRP sold from accounts with less than 10K XRP in them. Guys, this is the definition of retail capitulation. This is the definition of getting retail out of the market. And I often say on this channel, the institutions are trying to shake you out. They're trying to get you out of XRP. They don't want you to own XRP. And a lot of people say, what does that even mean? How does that materialize into facts? Is he just saying that, or is there data? And guys, this is that data. This is the data literally showing you that the smallest players who hold XRP are being shaken out by the large institutions. They are capitulating and selling off their assets. And this is massively problematic because nothing happening in the market right now should affect your long-term thesis of XRP. Nothing about the current price movement should affect your long-term thesis of XRP. Nothing about the market today makes me any less confident about XRP over the long run. In fact, I am more confident than ever. I really do believe the worst of the market is behind us in terms of regulations. I think the worst of the market is behind us in terms of large institutional players attacking this industry by essentially using regulators to go after things like cutting off access to banking and all kinds of other attacks like the SEC and CFTC. You guys know what we're talking about here. But ultimately, I think most of that is really behind us. And I think we really are on an upward trend as large players start to institutionalize this industry. I believe that is going to allow bigger money to come in, larger investments, and ultimately for this industry to prosper and really help disrupt the entire outdated legacy banking system. We're going to see a brand new banking system, a brand new market, a brand new financial system built on the internet, and that's going to be facilitated through the assets you and I own. So nothing about the price being up 25% today, down 25% today, whatever, changes that long-term thesis. But the people who are capitulating right now are the people who don't see that greater vision. It's the people with less than 10K XRP. They're not fully convinced that XRP is going to do these kinds of things. They just have a starter position. They just bought a little bit to play around here, but they haven't seen this big vision that allowed them to really put a substantial amount of capital behind their thesis. These are the people who are selling right now. It's not the largest institutions out there, and that is what is so important to understand, and really what I talk about when I say the big institutions want you out. They are forcing retail to capitulate. That's what's happening right now. And guys, the thing we need to understand is this is exactly what happened last time XRP went on a massive exponential run. I hope this chart is easy for you guys to see because it is absolutely fascinating. What it is XRP's history and how it moves in these markets. And what you can see is we are actually seeing a very similar move right now to what we saw in 2017. XRP, after going on a massively long sideways capitulation in this same symmetrical triangle pattern, started to fall out. It started to crash. Ultimately, that was the shakeout event right before it went on the massive exponential rip. So it's so shocking to me that we're seeing that same exact thing right now. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this chart, but if you want, just pause the video and zoom in, because the similarities to what we're seeing play out on the XRP chart right now is shockingly similar to what we saw from 2014 to 2017. But the important thing to note is that this is at the same exact time we're watching a massive increase in XRP's fundamentals. Or in other words, a ton of things that should be making XRP more important in the world, more systemically important, more critical to the financial system, more adoption, things that increase XRP's price. The market hasn't priced that in yet, but this chart is telling us, based on history, XRP might be about to price those things in a fast and parabolic movement. The other thing I just want to show on this chart is the crazy situation in which XRP actually just crashed 27% from 2 weeks ago, which is the same exact thing XRP did back here in 2017 before it ultimately went on the massive 10,000% move. So guys, it is fascinating to see XRP seeming to capitulate at a random time, shaking out retail, obviously, as we saw in the data, all while it's really putting in a formation that we've seen before, while the fundamentals tell us that we really shouldn't be selling off. In fact, we should be increasing in price. I would not be surprised at all if in the next couple weeks and months, we see XRP completely reverse out of this sell-off and really start to make some gains as we go into the final days of the Ripple SEC case. We are expecting a ruling in this case any day now. And when this thing is over, I think it is highly likely we are going to learn about a lot of partnerships we were never allowed to know about. Guys, we're going to talk about one of those partnerships at the end of this video, and I think you guys are going to find it fascinating. But the thing I really want to focus on is just this idea that the current market activity should not change your thesis on XRP. My thesis for XRP is completely independent of market conditions. And in fact, if I see market conditions weaken while the fundamentals in my thesis for XRP increases, that should just make me more bullish on the cheap XRP I am getting on a discount. So it is so important to think like that. And I know it's hard, but what you need to understand is we were actually in a position in 2014 to 2017 when we were in the same exact fearful trading pattern for XRP. The rest of the market was going up, XRP was trading sideways and looked like it was about to fall off a cliff. Then out of nowhere, suddenly people realized, hey, all that previous trading data didn't matter. XRP went on an exponential rip because the fundamentals were one of the best in the cryptocurrency industry. I think that same exact thing is going to happen today. And I don't know if it's just a random coincidence that these charts are playing out the same exact way, or there's some market makers in the background coordinating things. Who knows? We don't even have to speculate. All we know right now is XRP is far cheaper right now than its fundamentals should dictate. All at the same exact time, institutions are onboarding. We're getting bullish news with the Ripple SEC case. More and more projects are coming to the ledger. None of these things align with bearish price action. And that's why my thesis for XRP hasn't changed in the slightest, despite different market conditions. And guys, I want to finish this video off with one of those things that I believe is a great example of institutions not backing out despite the market data. This is a partnership we would never hear about from Ripple or via the partner who they're going to talk about in this video. This is a partnership that's not meant for us to know about. It's a partnership that doesn't concern us. And this is one of the hardest things people have with Ripple and XRP. Ripple lands institutional partners. These institutional partners don't really care about retail hype. They care about making their products better. They don't need to go on X and start hyping an announcement. They don't get anything from it. From them, what they get out of a partnership with Ripple is better products, faster liquidity, cheaper liquidity. It has nothing to do with pumping these announcements to retail like we see in the Polkadot community or Solana community. Not saying there's anything wrong with it. It certainly works for short-term liquidity. I don't think it will work for long-term liquidity. But the point is right, like Ripple is landing these partnerships in the background and no one's going to tell you about it unless they're inevitably leaked. But listen up to this video, because this is exactly how we find out about every partnership Ripple has. A leaked video, someone misspeaks, information accidentally gets out, and then we find out, oh, Ripple has been working with these large institutions. They just don't want you to know about it. Listen up to this video.
And, this guy sells it to that guy. That's essentially, what the stock exchange does. So if you can have a common ledger to be able to exchange those IOUs at, then that certainly makes sense. And And there's examples of Korean banks partnering with local Bitcoin companies for the settlement. People like the IMF or World Bank or these kind of people are always talking about these sort of blockchain settlement systems. NASDAQ is involved in I think doing some trials with Ripple as well. So
NASDAQ in trials with Ripple. Guys, what we know is the entire world is moving towards tokenization. What else do we know? Well, someone like the NASDAQ isn't going to make a public service announcement and say, oh, by the way, we're looking to build our next generation products using the XRP ledger, working with Ripple. Guys, they are going to keep those things under wraps. They don't want their competitors to know about it. But the more and more we hear about these leaked partnerships between Ripple and MasterCard, Ripple and Visa, Ripple the Federal Reserve, Ripple the Faster Payment Task Force, Ripple the Bank of England, Ripple the NASDAQ. Guys, these are great examples of things Ripple is facilitating in the background we haven't seen yet, but ultimately I believe will come to light. Until I see a new technology that disrupts the things XRP can bring to the system and runs a better system than what the XRP ledger can run, I am firmly convinced that these players will ultimately come out, capitulate using the XRP ledger, and I think we are closer to that moment than ever before. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.